works. Be diligent. If all you want to do is show up and sit here, well, give some offering or something. Give a tithe or something. I don't know. You got a lamb at home? You got a goat? I don't know. Give something. Don't just sit up here and then the high holy days come as food. Here you come. Notice how crowded it gets in high holy days? That's not serving the Most High. You only come once every time the high holy day. That's not serving the Most High. I know brothers think it is, but it's not. See, you got to be in the trenches. You got to be in the trenches. It's a war. You got to fight. It's a spiritual war. We know that, and then physical too. You got to be in the trenches. And if you're not in the trenches, who wants you? Here you are at war, and you out there in the real war. Read the history. How you gonna have a man next to you that is unwilling to defend himself or his people? That's gonna make the whole army weak, isn't it?
Come on.
You better off killing him and then go fight the enemy. You're better off, bro, because he's useless. Well, let me kill my brother first, because you're useless, man. I'm taking you out before I die, before the enemy kill me, because you're slack. That's what's happening. That's what you see out here. And we have brothers in the truth that are like that. See? But the Most High said that would happen. Understand? He said a dispensation of the gospel is only committed to that man. Meaning partial. The Most High gives him, because the Most High know your heart. He know your mind. So Yahawashi know how you think, right? So if you're unwillingly, Yahawashi know that. So what does he do? He gives you just a measure. Understand? It's a measure. And then what's going to happen eventually? He's going to be the one with the one talent. You're going to take it from him. We've seen it happen all the time. We see it happen. If you've been here 30 years, you're going to see things happen. Before you know it, that brother's out in the corner talking about the Sabbath is on Monday.
Yeah.
You've seen that? You've seen it?
Yeah. I've seen it too.
All right.
I've seen it.
Okay. Go ahead, Anwar, 18.
Verse 18. What is my reward then?
Yeah, what is my reward? See? If I do this willingly, I have a reward. But if I do it against my will, a dispensation, so what is my reward? See, I know that's what you're asking, right? What is my reward? Go ahead, Al.
Verily that, when I preach the gospel...
When you begin to preach the gospel, go ahead.
I may make the gospel of the Hamashiach without charge.
Yeah, go ahead.
That I abuse not my power in the gospel.
Yeah, that's your reward. See? You don't abuse yourself in this gospel because there is the reward that we are looking for is the kingdom of heaven, all right? And that Yahawashi restore back to us our land, Mount Zion, redeem us back to our language, back to our land, understand? That's really our reward. You're not getting nothing over here in this part, this captivity on this side. You're not getting nothing.
No.
And now you look and say, well, I got something, I got this. No, we're not talking about doing it individually, man. We're talking about as a nation. You're not getting nothing. And even the ones that got stuff individual, look at it, they're bringing them down. Look at Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They bring them down one by one. They had to kill them or bring them down. One by
James
one,
too.
they're bringing them down. Because it's temporary, it's temporal. The riches of this world is temporary.
Yeah,
They bring them down. All right? So, what does it mean? It means nothing. The Most High is talking about gather yourselves together. See? Before the destruction comes. Assemble yourselves together. Then as a nation, we get all the riches and everything. Our land, language, everything. See? Understand? But if one man going to get some riches in America and think that he's above everybody, you ain't nobody. Yahawashi said, I don't want that. I don't need him. I don't want him. Because his mind ain't right. So think about that, brother. Be more conscious about being humble. Have a humility type spirit, a contrite spirit. That's what the Most High is looking for. And look towards the gathering of Israel more on that level rather than individual and so forth. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 19.
Bro,
Yeah.
in the end of 18 it says
I abuse
it says that I abuse not my power in the
gospel. Right.
Because we have power in the gospel.
We have.
You take it upon yourself to become a tyrant.
Right.
Or oppressive. understand? Because the Most High gave us power in the gospel
Correct.
to do certain things on the level that He wants to do. But when you use that power
Beyond.
for negative,
Right. So when it goes beyond what Yahawashi say for you to do, then it's negative. Understand? The next thing you know, you have all this malice and hate and envy and jealousy. Understand? Because you've gone beyond your power in the gospel. That's why Yahawashi said, if you love me, keep my commandments. See? Do what he say to do. Don't go beyond that. Understand? And some brothers, as you can see out here, has gone beyond that level. Understand? They've gone beyond that. Because now they're thinking individual now. Understand? Rather than as a nation, and what Yahawashi is asking us to do. You understand? Okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 19. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more.
Right, see, that you may gain the more. See? So, you're free from all men, because now you in the gospel. You in this truth. You understand. Understand? You're not a slave to the world anymore. You see now. The Most High has opened up your mind to knowledge and wisdom and understanding the Most High, law, statute, commandments. So you're free from the world. But it says, yet have I made myself a servant. Now you're a servant to them. Understand? So hey, you're free, but now you're a servant again. But you're a servant in the Mashiach. That's what it's saying. You're a servant in the Mashiach. I'd rather be a servant in the Mashiach than a servant to the white man, right? Understand? So remember that. And we still got to serve our enemies until the Mashiach redeem us. We still serve our enemies also. But still, now that we in the knowledge, we're serving the Mashiach, right? In our captivity, but with knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Right? And then when we go out there and speak, so we take that wisdom and now we're serving our people to wake them up. And that's what you want to be able to do. And that's the blessing, brother. That's what Paul said. To be a prophet, that's one of the highest callings that a man could ever get from the Yahawashi. A prophet. Understand? A minister to teach the word. Right? A true minister. Not these pork chop eating preachers. Not them. We're talking about a true minister. All right? Okay. Go ahead, Ak. That I may gain the more. You just read that, right? Read 20.
Verse 20. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law.
Yeah, so, right? So now, because the Most High has revealed the truth to you, you're gaining knowledge and wisdom and understanding, now you're becoming what? You're becoming a servant. To gain those that don't have the truth, understand? You got to humble yourself to gain them. Understand? Not with all pride, now you're puffed up, understand? And you think you're better than them. No, not with that. It says humble yourself. So to the Jews, Paul said, I became a Jew, which Paul was Israelite anyway, right? But he became a Jew. So he would go to the community where our people at, and then humble himself and become accessible to the people. Understand? Not put himself up on a pedestal. Understand? Where the people can't get to him and receive the truth. Then it says, to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I may gain them that are under the law. Right? Because you got a lot of our people that think they're under the law. Really don't know the law, statute, and commandments. But even those types, you humble yourself just so you can gain them. Right? Because you're going to show them the truth. You're going to show them. Go ahead.
You had Israelites that were keeping the law.
Yeah.
And those that were not keeping the law, that was following the custom of the Greeks.
Greeks, right. Right. So that's why it's necessary for us to become humble in this and show ourselves really contrite and diligent so we can gain our people who have that mentality. Understand? Because today you have a lot of our people who think that they're under the law, right? But really not under the law in the Mashiach Yahawashi. Understand? So, but still, even those you want to gain. All right? Okay, go ahead up.
Verse 21. To them that are without law, as without law.
See, to them that are without law. See? A lot of our people don't know the commandment, don't know the laws, right? Go ahead.
Being not without law to Yahweh, but under the law to the Hamashiach Yahawashi, that I might gain them that are without law.
Right. That you may gain them that are without law. Right? So, all people have not the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't understand who they are, their identity, and so forth. How do you gain them? Okay? How do you gain them? How do you begin to get them to think to return back to who they are? Yeah, go ahead.
That's just like street teaching that we got in the street, or even if you by yourself on your own talking to Jake that
Right.
don't know nothing about Israel. You can't just break them down. You gotta ease into that.
Ease
with them
into
too.
it. Right.
Through conversation.
Right. Very good. Go ahead up.
Verse 22. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak.
Can you become weak to the weak? Huh? Or to the weak, you're going to show yourself strong. Right? And then he's not going to be able to receive you because you're going to be overpowering. No, you don't do it like this. This is what Yahawashi is showing us.
To be humble.
Understand? That we got to be able to conform to whoever is before us. Because you got a lot of our people out there, they're in positions, man, in this world. They're pompous, they got a lot of pride, they got money, so they think they're better than you. How you gonna deal with somebody who thinks he's better than you? How you gonna teach him? Right? Understand? And then you got the ones who don't have no position, who are a little poor, right? And a little bit weaker and so forth. How you gonna deal with that? So you got to be able to deal with all men, right? And this knowledge and wisdom gives you that ability. It gives you that ability. If a lawyer come up to me on the street, he's a top-notch lawyer. You know what I'm saying? He's a millionaire lawyer, and he gonna ask me a question according to the Bible. You got to be able to deal with that, huh? You got to be as bold. As Scripture says, be bold enough and understand that you can deal with that in Yahawashi, in the Word. You can deal with somebody like that. What if one of Esau's top rabbis coming at you? Top rabbi in this earth, right? So-called Jewish rabbi come up to you and ask you a question. You should be able to deal with him according to this Word. Right? So that's what the level that the Most High wants us to be on. To be able to deal with all men. It could be Edomites, it can be Gentile nations, doesn't matter, as well as our people. All right? Go ahead, up.
I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker therefore with you.
Right, see, we do it for the gospel's sake. All right? Made all things to all men. See? For the gospel's sake. All right? And that's what Yahawashi wants us to do. And he said, and then you got to do it for that penny. You got to do it for that penny, right? So this is what Yahawashi is looking for us to do. So that's why you got to meditate. Where are you in that? See? Remember the two sons. Which son are you? See? Understand? Go ahead, up.
Verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run, that ye may obtain.
Yeah, see, so run, that you may obtain. All right? You're not running this race at a fast pace. You're just running the race at a moderate pace, so that you can obtain. All right? And what are you trying to obtain? Right? You're trying to obtain what Yahawashi said He's going to redeem us. He's going to redeem us with our land, language, our identity. You know what I'm saying? Our nation back, everything. See? That's what you're trying to obtain. So it's not that kind of race. Right? But it is nonetheless a race. okay, that you're trying to obtain. Go ahead up.
Verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is tempered in all things. Not that they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
And incorruptible, right? So you're a man, right? You're a man. The Most High said, the flock of his pasture are men, right? Every man that striveth for mastery is temperate. Okay? You striving to become a master, right? Yahawashi's word in this gospel. You're striving to become a master, but you must be temperate. That means you must balance out those emotions, right? That spirit you have to balance it out. If you're going to become a master in this, you got to balance those emotions out. Understand? That's what this takes, man. You can't just take this and think that it's gonna do for you what you want. You gotta take action. See? You gotta read the word, then apply it to your everyday life. Understand? Okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I. Not as one that beateth the air.
See? Not as one, so you run. See? Not as uncertain, right? So fight I, not as one that beateth the air. So you're fighting for that crown, that spiritual crown that Yahawashi is going to give us. See? So you're not beating the air. You're not running a race just for nothing. All right? So we run so we may obtain that spiritual crown. That's what you run for. Yeah.
Yeah, remember he also said fight with the run. So you're
Fight.
like a boxer swinging and missing.
Right.
That's what he's saying, not beating the air.
Right.
While he's doing it, he have a purpose.
Yeah,
He's
you got a
just not
purpose.
swinging and missing.
So now this is what Paul said now, all right, in 27. What's he saying here? Go ahead, up.
Verse 27. But I keep under my body, and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Right, see? So Yahawashi is showing us you keep under your body. I mean, you must keep yourself in check. Brothers got to keep themselves in check. Huh? You know, so brothers be way out of order. Understand? So you got to bring yourself into subjection. But you have to do it. So that's why you have to apply the scripture. So you're reading the word, but you're not applying it. Brothers be way out of order, man. With themselves, with their household, with their wives, with their emotions. Be way out of order. See? And then they read a few scriptures and go completely off. Understand? Because they're not keeping themselves, knowledge puffed up. So a lot of time when you at home reading and you meditating, who's there? Yeah, right. The angels are there, Yahawashi, but who else is there? Satan.
Yeah.
Your best friend, he's there too.
He never leaves you.
Yeah. He's there, you know, when you're reading about the comforter, all of a sudden, oh, I can be a comforter. and then, you know what I'm saying? And then there you go. Who put that in your head like that?
Satan.
And you know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? Those kind of thoughts like that. I can be a general. I can be this. Understand? So you got to think about it. So you got to apply it, but it takes a balance. Understand? So that's why you got to keep yourself in subjection, right? Stay humble, right? Because brother, that's why the scripture says, you know more than what. There are nations out there that want to know exactly what you know. But you are on a high level, just learning just a little bit, just an inch of this truth. You're on a high level. Okay? So that's why the Most High don't give us everything at one time. That's why we tell brothers, be patient. It's coming. It's coming. The knowledge, the wisdom, everything is coming. You just got to be patient. He can't give it to you all at once. Do you give your son everything at once? You're going to have a spoiled, rotten child. By the time he's 12, forget it. You ain't going to be able to handle You gave him everything. Okay. So the Most High don't do it like that. Understand? So get John 15:1. Anwar.
And can I give an example too?
Yeah.
It's just like when you study martial arts
Right.
and you go to a martial arts class. You go through different stages and different degrees of belt.
Yeah.
You don't get everything at one time. And the instructor doesn't teach you everything at one time.
At one time. Right.
It takes time and stages. And when you get to that level, then he said, no, you go out
Now
and
you go out.
perfect what you have learned.
Right. How
He's
about
not
that?
going to teach you everything that he knows, but he's going to teach you what you need to know to perfect that
To
skill.
perfect that skill. Come. How about that? And then they got the different levels, like you said. White belt, brown belt, purple belt, whatever the belts are, then you reach that high stage. Well, that final belt, black belt, whatever it is. See? So the same thing here. Most I can't give it to you all at once. You're not ready. Plus, you're not ready. You're just coming out of the world, the negative world. You ain't ready. Satan is still on you. The demons are still in you. You ain't even cleaned up yet. See? It's still, the world is still in you like that. See? But stages, through stages, the Most I give it to you. All right? Through stages. So let's be prepared for that. And then now, John 15:1. Go ahead, Doc.
Reading out the book of John, chapter 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away.
Right. See, if you don't bear fruit, what's he going to do? He's taking you out. See? So remember about the brother, the laborer, right? Didn't want to work for the penny and got upset. Remember the other son, the two sons, the parable? And that other son said, yeah, I'm going to go, Yahawashi, I'm going to go work, but never went. See? If you're not bearing fruit, the Most High will take you out. He don't need you. So that's why it said, many are called, few are chosen. So when you can see a whole bunch of brothers come in, does that mean the Most High want all those brothers? Not all the time, brother. Doesn't mean that. Most High going to sift. You're going to see it, going to sift. Start sifting. Now all of a sudden you're not going to see some of them. Sift. That's how the Most High do. He bring them in bunches, but in the end, right? Because the Most High teaches you. He says it must need be that you have trials and tribulations and heresies and these different types of things in the truth while you in it. All right? While you come in and you're sitting down learning, you're going to see different things. You're going to see confusion sometimes. You're going to see heresy sometimes. You're going to see brothers do some wicked things. But the Most High said that's necessary. Because he said those that are manifest will shine. Will shine through it and rise above it. Just so those that are manifest, who the Most High want, will rise above it. And then that's who the Most High keeps. The rest he sift out. So that's why the Most High, he can cause a lot of it. Didn't Yahawashi said there should be 5 in one house? Right? 3 against 2 and 2 against 3? He said, think not that I come to bring peace. I came to bring division and a sword. So why is Yahawashi bringing division? Don't he wants to come together? Yes. But he said, I got to manifest those who I want now. See, the ones who are manifest, who are like the gems, the gold, they got to rise above that confusion. See? And then Yahawashi said, okay, then that's who I want out of all that. The rest, we'll knock them off, kill them. And that's how it's going to go. So when you see that, still stay diligent, brother. Still stay in it. See? Still stay diligent, vigilant, still stay in it. All right? Okay, come. Go ahead, up.
And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it. That is, that it may bring forth more fruit.
How about that? So he's going to purge you. You bring forth fruit, you're going to purge you so you bring more fruit. See? The Most High can bless you now with those talents you have, and you were able to use those talents and apply those talents as spiritual gifts, then he's going to bring you even more blessings. But you got to be diligent. You got to give Yahawashi a chance to use those talents in you. You being here for a couple of years, that's not enough time. I can't wait. I got to go back out in the world. Get me a job. And you to give Yahawashi time enough to even deal with you. Okay? Go ahead, up.
Verse 3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself.
You can't bear fruit by yourself. See, some brothers think, this is what I did. I did this. I brought this brother in. You ain't did nothing. See, it's the Mashiach. Okay? You can't abide, you can't bring in fruit of yourself. It's the Spirit of the Most High. See, one planted, one water, but the Most High gives the increase. Go ahead, up.
Except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Can you abide in the vine? Who's the vine? Well, it's the Mashiach. Do you abide in the Mashiach? If you don't, then you're not going to flourish. You're not going to be fruitful. Understand? In other words, you're going to bear rotten fruit. And when your fruit is rotten, who's going to want to eat it? And then you can tell. You can tell a lot of rotten fruit coming in. See? Rotten, in other words, rotten brothers. But when they come, they always bring in what? That rotten fruit with them. Meaning that mentality, that negative, that mentality. Evil, malice, strife, understand? Hatred, envy, jealousy, all of that. They bring all that, that's that rotten fruit. And you see it, understand? You see it. Okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 5. I am the vine.
Yahawashi is the vine.
Ye are the branches.
And you are the branches. Right?
He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing.
See, without the Mashiach, you can't do nothing. How about that? Can't do anything. See? So everything that we do is in the Mashiach. Everything. Everything. Understand? The Mashiach, that's why we say the Mashiach Yahawashi, the anointed Savior. Mount Zion is going to be built back up through the Mashiach Yahawashi. Israel is going to be redeemed by the Mashiach Yahawashi. Understand? Our redemption is through him. That's why they hate that name. The nation, they don't want to hear Yahawashi's name. Right, man? They don't want to hear that name. Because they know what's coming. Yeah, Yahawashi. See? It's not Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not Jesus.
Tell it to my mom.
That's Zeus. That's a demon.
Tell it to my mom.
All right?
She keep calling.
He's Zeus. That's a demon. That's a demon god. That's what that is. So when our people in churches say, Jesus, come save me, they're calling on Satan.
Zeus.
And the demon comes too.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but the demon's right there. You
Right,
call
right,
him.
right,
I told you to call Satan. And it's there.
Yeah.
It is true, brother. It's
Yeah.
there.
You have to tell this to
Okay.
my mom. You know.
So Satan then flipped it and fooled our people and made us think that calling on Jesus was Yahawashi. It's
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Got nothing but demons in them churches. So you thank the Most High that he brought you out of that madness and
Yeah,
brought
it's
you
true.
in the truth so you can see the difference. See? All right? Yeah. You think we're going to have, 30,000 people in here? No. He said, you're going to worship me in a little sanctuary. I'm going to be a small congregation, not a big one. Many are called few.
Or
It's a
chosen.
few are chosen. See? And then all the other Israelite schools that are in the Mashiach, they have small congregations, brother. Understand? They don't have no, like T.D. Jakes Church, thousands and thousands of people. And they idolizing the demon.
Con.
That's it. Okay, go ahead up.
Verse 6. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. And men gather them, and cast them into the fire, and they are burned.
See? So the Most High is going to burn a lot of people. The branches, you're the branches. If you're not don't abide in the Mashiach, you're going to be burned. Even though sometimes you're sitting up in here, you're still going to be burned. Let's think about that. Go ahead up.
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
How about that? You're going to ask what you want, and Yahawashi said, I'm going to give it to you. But you have to abide in the Mashiach. And you have to be sincere. Now, let's say, oh, Mashiach, can I get a nice Cadillac? Can I get a nice Lexus Jeep? No. See, that's not what he's talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not what he's talking about. He's not talking about you asking for material things and so forth. All right? Okay, go ahead, Up.
Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples.
See? You bear much fruit, then you become Yahawashi's disciple. When you abide in him, he's going to allow you to bear much fruit, meaning other brothers from your teachings, right? You're teaching the gospel and the truth to them, they're going to come in, see? And that's the works of Yahweh. That's what Yahawashi want us to do. See? And then, next thing you know, you're going to see brothers coming in, right? Through the works that you do in the Mashiach Yahawashi. Through the truth. Okay, go ahead, Up.
As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love.
How about that? What happened to the love? Is there any love left amongst brothers?
No. Nah.
What happened to the love? You haven't even come on that level yet. And how you gonna want the things, the physical things in the world, the physical rewards in the world, and you haven't come on to the level of love with one another yet? You got all the knowledge, and truth and understanding, right? But you haven't come to this simple emotion. You can't even love one another. So that's missing. So how do you expect Yahawashi to give you anything? You haven't even come to that level yet. And that's such a basic level, love one another as a nation. You can't even do that. That's missing. See? Understand? That's missing. So we need to come on that level too. Go ahead, Up.
Verse 10, if ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
How about that? So how do you abide in Yahawashi's love?
By keeping the commandments.
See? Who said the commandments were done away with?
Please.
A lot of people out there. Israelites are saying that.
Right. True.
They're saying that too. Not just the churches and all that, the Christians. Israelites are saying that too. You don't have to keep the commandments.
That's so.
Yahawashi is talking about his commandments and the commandments that he said that the prophets wrote, right, that are not done away with, but he came to fulfill. See? Yeah, high holy days, commandments. 10 commandments. He's talking about that too. And all the other 600 and some odd commandments. That's what he's talking about. See? So, do you abide in his love? See, how do you love the Most High? You keep the commandments. That's what he's saying. That's how I'm saying. You keep his commandments. So you can't love the Most High no other way. That's the way you show that you love the Most High, by keeping his commandments.